Welcome to Flipped Classrooms. We are looking at statistics and the measures of spread. Our learning intention is we are learning about the measures of spread, and our success criteria is I am successful when I can calculate the range and interquartile range and understand how these measures of spread can be used to describe data. So there are two ways to measure the spread of data. The first one is the range, and the range is the difference between the lowest and highest values of a group of numbers. So when we're working out the range, what we do is we find the largest number of that set, we find the smallest one of that set, and we just subtract the two. So here's an example. Find the range of those numbers. So if we have a look, those numbers are already in order, so it makes it really easy for us. The highest number is 38 and the lowest is 12. So I write down my range is equal to 38 minus 12, which is equal to 26. So we know that there is a range of 26 for that data. The other way that we look at range is the interquartile range. The interquartile range is the measure of spread of the middle 50% of the data. So this is looking from 25% up to 75% and seeing how spread out those two parts are. So to calculate the interquartile range, first we need to put the data in ascending order. We then need to find the median. And if you're not sure about the median, click on the card up the top and that'll take you to the video about the median. So we need to find the median or middle value of the data. And if this falls on a specific data value, we just remove that data value before going on to the next part. So once we've found that middle point, we've got a lower half and an upper half. So that lower half, we can find the lower quartile. And we do that by finding the median of that half of the data. And to find the upper quartile, we do the same, but with the upper half of the data. Now, we write this down as the median is Q2, the lower quartile is Q1, and the upper quartile is Q3. So each one of those represents 25% of the data. Once we've got the lower and upper quartile, we can subtract the lower quartile from the upper quartile. Similar to the range where we take the low number away from the upper number, we do this for the quartiles as well. So we take that lower 25% value and subtract it from the upper 75% value. So we can write this as the interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. So here's an example for this. I have a bunch of numbers and I've got my thinking on the left hand side and I've got my writing and drawing on the right, so the teacher can see what workings I'm doing and they'll know that I understand this problem. My first step of this problem is I will find the median and then split the data into two groups. So the median there, we've got 7 numbers. The median is the 28. So I have a lower group, which is 23, 25, and 28. And we have the upper group, which is 32, 33, and 35. If you notice, there's only 6 numbers between the two because I've taken that middle 28 out. That way I've split it into 2 even groups. I then have to find the lower quartile using that first group or the lower group. So I find the median of that group and that's the middle number and that's just 25. So I'll say that Q1 or lower quartile is 25. My next step is to do the same but with the second group and find the upper quartile. So again, I look at that group, I find that middle number, the median number of that group, and I find out that it is 33. So I write Q3 equals 33, or I could write upper quartile equals 33. And finally, I need to subtract the lower quartile from the upper quartile. And I do this by showing my workings again. So I'll write down the equation first. So I'll write IQR equals upper quartile minus the lower quartile, or I could do it in shorthand like I have on the screen here where it says Q3 minus Q1. I then can write down that the IQR equals 33 minus 25. And finally, I can write down that the interquartile range is 8. So it's saying that the middle 50% of those numbers only has a difference of 8 values. So for our reflection, I want to think about why is it important to know both the range and the interquartile range of the data when we're trying to analyze that data. As always, like the video and subscribe for more videos on maths.